Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Bolt City Podcast. Dave Palais, Josh Palais, and Mario Heron. Man, I tell you, every time we do one of these shows, guys, I'm excited because number one, we came off a win. This week was great. Then all of a sudden, we're talking about the trade deadline, a little bit of excitement. Of course, the Chargers had nothing to do with getting better or getting worse with the players. Fine, we kind of expected that, but man, here we are, a couple days away from game day, and excited about going back to New York and see can we put that streak together. Josh, you said it on the last show. How many teams in the AFC West have won 2 games in a row or more? Surprisingly, it's the Denver Broncos. So let's put that streak together. Let's get things going and hopefully change our opinion of saying, hey, guess what? This is a team that does have a chance of making the playoffs and hopefully does some damage as they have everything going in the right direction.
Yeah, Broncos are the hottest team in the AFC West, the only team that has a winning streak, which is shocking. But I feel good about the Chargers heading into this week. You got a team with a good offense, we think, in the Chargers against a good defense in the Jets. And then you got the Jets with a below average offense and went against the Chargers with a below average defense. So it's strong against strong, weak against weak. I like the Chargers. I think us creating turnovers in the last game, you can build off of that. And Zach Wilson is a quarterback that will turn the ball over, Mario.
Yeah, it's hard to face Zach Wilson and say, "Oh, I'm not confident. I don't feel good." It's like, nah, I feel like kind of good about that. I feel like pretty good, especially when you have that or Aaron Rodgers. I would take Zach Wilson any day of the week. I feel good going into this game. There's little things that worry me about the Jets here, Dave. Like the wins of the Eagles 20-14, like scares me. The beating the Bills 22-16, but that is a divisional game, so you always have to like factor that in. Where like, divisional games can just get freaking weird, where just weird stuff happens. They have their number in some certain way. They lost to the Chiefs by 3. I count that as a win. Now, that might be really sore loser talk, but I think like if you're a Jets fan, losing by 3 to the Chiefs is a win, and that was on a Sunday night football game too. So I count that as a win for them. But either way, I mean, this is just another way for Chargers to get some extra fans, doing it in New York City, and saying up yours to the best city in the world.
That sounds like Chicago 8 right there where you're at. Is that
It's a,
Chicago? We're a little jealous
yeah.
of New York.
Not jealous. We ran on top. It's the Midwest, baby.
It's the Midwest the way it rolls. All right, so here are a couple things about this game. So we go back and we look at this game on the schedule, and we're thinking it's Aaron Rodgers. This is prime time. This is going to be crazy. Justin Herbert, Aaron Rodgers, the Los Angeles Chargers against the New York Jets. Market number 1 against market number 2. There's so many reasons why this game was scheduled for Monday Night Football, and it changed when Aaron Rodgers got hurt. And to see what the Jets were, and it's Zach Wilson, and a guy that maybe doesn't even belong in the league, and a lot of weird stuff about Zach Wilson off the field, right? I mean, we've gone over it where it's like, hey, let's just keep your mom at home, and it's a boys' night out. We aren't even taking her into the game. Like Zach Wilson gets distracted. It's strange. So overall, hey, that's his thing. That's his thing. So at the same time, here we go. The game changes, and when Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, anyone who has a network is going, oh my God, how many times do we have the Jets on this year? And boom, you're stuck with the Jets. And you realize this is going to be really bad for an entire year. Well, the Jets all of a sudden, as you said, Mario, have played some tough games. And they are boring as hell to watch. Unless you love defense, the Jets are a tough team to watch, right? You got Bryce Hall. We'll get in all those guys that they have. But when you look at what the Jets have, for me, the one thing they have going for them is they have momentum and they're starting to believe in themselves. And I thought for sure their coach was going to be fired at the end of the year. Now I'm not so sure. Now I think right now they're starting to rally and they understand it's, I hate when teams use this as us against the world. But for the Jets, I think they honestly, when Aaron Rodgers went out and they're able to put together some pretty competitive games, that it is us against the world. We're going to do it. Old school defense. We're going to grind it out. And their games are boring. I said to you guys a couple days ago, watching that Jets-Giants game, and I did watch it, were literally 3 of the worst hours of my life. It was, if that was the only time someone introduced me to the NFL and said, you got to watch this sport, you're going to love it, and they put that game on, I would say I'm never watching the NFL again. It was terrible. It was that bad, and I love everything about the NFL. That one was bad. So that being said, the Jets, though, pull it off. Their fans were walking out of the game with 30 seconds remaining against the Giants. And they're literally, when they put the cameras on and then people are walking up the stairs and they look back and they're like, they do that move, the big hand wave, like, I'm done with you guys. Yeah, and they walk to the parking lot and they missed it. And the Jets come back and win this game in overtime against, the Giants, the team they share the stadium with. There's momentum on that side. That's the scary thing for the Chargers. Is I think momentum is real. Now, Josh, You've obviously been on the field in high profile games. You know what it feels like. I don't know how long momentum lasts. Does momentum last 30 seconds into the next game, or can it take you from week to week to week?
I think momentum can take you into the next week, and I absolutely believe that can happen this week with Zach Wilson. When you play quarterback like Tyson Bagent, a guy that's prone to turn the ball over, and you play another guy like Zach Wilson who's prone to turn the ball over, and I know Zach Wilson has played above his head with Aaron Rodgers out, but to be honest, if you had to rank Zach Wilson in the top 32, he's somewhere between 20 and 32. Probably 25 to 32, to be honest with you. This is a game you have to take advantage of. And the Jets are a very interesting team because you have a quarterback that I would say is below average or maybe average at the most. And then you have a running back in Brees Hall who's definitely above average, who has played so well that Dalvin Cook can't get on the field. It's one of the more interesting things in the NFL actually right now. We'll talk about that later. But Brees Hall is a guy you got to watch out for. I think the Chargers need to aim towards, the run, when the Chargers have actually done a great job against the run this year, which is so shocking because last year we were banging the desk saying we cannot stop the run. This year they've done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson is, the guy you got to watch out for also when they throw the ball. We saw Hard Knocks. Garrett Wilson's a freak. I like us with Asante Samuel Jr. there. And then you go to defense, and they are interesting. If you look at the Jets defense, they're top 10, no matter how you slice it. They're a top 10 defense. They have given up the second most yards rushing in the NFL per game. You would never guess that, especially with the team that they have. You would never guess that. Austin Ekeler, to me, and I've said this before, is a great player. He is not the guy that's going to dice you up on the ground for 145 yards. He's a guy that's going to get 145 total yards between catching and running, but he's not going to run the ball for 145 yards. I think this is another game where Joshua Kelly steps up. Joshua Kelly has done a great job as the number 2 running back this year. When he was the top running back, we weren't saying that. But when he's the backup, he's done a really great job. I like for him here. And then you got Sauce Gardner going against Keenan Allen, which is the huge matchup also. You're going to be looking there thinking, what can Keenan Allen do against him? He's one of the top corners in the league. Every game the Jets plays on, everybody's watching, right? Because it's in New York. You got coast-to-coast game. I think it's going to be a big game for Sauce Gardner's career. And Keenan Allen, too, to prove against a young guy that I can still play. But this, to me, if you're going to just look at it as a whole, is the Tennessee Titans game all over again. It's the same thing. It's a team that you're going to have to grind it out against on the road, a coach that looks like he could probably kick some ass. We talked about this on the last show. I love a coach that can kick some ass. Robert Saleh has like 12 kids and looks like he works out 10 times a day. A lot of testosterone.
Owns a tanning booth.
Owns a tanning booth. Yeah. Interesting cat. But I like this. I like this for the Chargers. Zach Wilson is a younger Ryan Tannehill, a guy that's kind of a game manager. He's not going to necessarily lose the game every time, but he's not going to be the guy that lights the on fire and wins the game. This, to me, is the Tennessee Titans game. But I think the Chargers are actually going to win this one. And I say this every week. I think the Chargers are going to win. But I do like the Chargers' chances here. I'm still pissed off about the Titans, Mario.
The Titans one it hurts so freaking bad. And if they get better with Will Levis, and you look back, wow, we lost to him when they had Tannehill. Now Will Levis, that just hurts even more. I do agree with you 110%. I think that's a very, very good comparison of this is the Titans game all over again, right? Like this is a team that just kind of finds ways to win. And you mentioned their offense. Zach Wilson this year, only 2 times has he thrown over 200 yards. And as a team, they're the second to worst passing offense in the NFL. They're 26th in points per game. They're the worst red zone offense in the NFL. They're 5th most sacked in the league. We watch at Hard Knocks, like this O-line was a disaster. Well, now they're banged up. If you watch the Giants game, I mean, holy hell did he just sniff turf most of that game. And you look at that and go, all right, then is this a Mac Bosa game? Is this a Thule game, right? Like you had Kayvon had 3 sacks against the Jets last week. Hassan Reddick, 2.5 sacks versus the Jets for the Eagles. Michael Parsons, 2 sacks against them. Mac, Bosa, get the fork, get the knife. You're feasting, baby. Like this should be just you all night long. Like this O-line's very, very weak. Zach Wilson has a tendency to kind of roll into sacks, hold the ball too long. He still just makes those kind of rookie mistakes that, rookie quarterbacks do. I think they can really expose that. I think they need to expose that in this game in order to win it. I think that's a big thing for them. You mentioned Keenan Allen versus Sauce Gardner. That secondary is tough, man. That secondary is very, very tough. I think it's going to be very, very important for Herbert to take care of this freaking football because there's 2 wins against the Eagles and Bills. Josh Allen, 3 interceptions. 236 yards, 29 for 41. Jalen Hurts, 28 for 45, 280 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Even Mahomes threw 2 interceptions against this defense. Herbert is going to have to take care of the freaking football. There can't be a lot of interceptions in this because the way the Jets win is they take the ball away, they make it ugly, and they just keep their offense on the field. They give the offense the best chance possible for them to score. Do they score? Barely ever. But what they do is they make your offense struggle. They make your offense go ugly. Their offense plays ugly. And the uglier it is, the more you want to turn away from the TV, the more you want to close your eyes as it's happening, the happier the New York Jets are. And that's how they win. So Herbert's got to take care of the football. Mac and Bosa have to literally be on Zach Wilson on the ground 24/7, like he's, in jiu-jitsu or something. And I think they win this game.
Yeah, I think all of us are a lot more confident in this game now than we were when the schedule came out. It was one of those where we kind of a toss-up of going, what do we think? The excuse of you're flying, 5-6 hours to the East Coast. The Jets have Aaron Rodgers, all that stuff. As we said, it's a different team than what they expected. And it all changed, basically in the first drive for the Jets during the season. Brees Hall is outstanding, right? And you said, and I think I called him earlier. I think Josh would tell me, but I'm sure I said Bryce, but I think
you did.
I screwed that up. I did.
You did.
Look, let's give him. I'm gonna give him. Why don't you guys jump in? Look, let's be honest here. It's 5:00 in the morning as we do this. My time. Hey, I'm doing the best I can. God dang it, I'm running on fumes. All right, sorry, but look.
Brees Hall you gotta be old and nice to old people. So you have to be nice.
That's true. Dude, I'm so tired. My eyes are like watering. I'm not crying because I'm so emotional over the Chargers Jets game. I don't know. I think I get dry eye. Got damn Santa Ana's out here. So anyway, so you got. I like Josh's comparison though that it's like the Titans game over again. The difference is, I think you can get a slip game against a team like the Titans. The problem is it shouldn't happen in week 2 of the season. That's a game you're going to look back at, Josh, and you're going to go, man, that's the one. And every team has that one. I mean, the Chiefs just had that one last week against the Broncos. Every team has that one where there's that slip game. And I know as fans, it upsets you because you're going, dude, you're only asked to show up to work 17 times a year. How can you have a slip game when you only asked to show up to work 17 times a year? The one thing, as you compare the Jets to the Titans, and I'll compare the Jets a lot to the Chicago Bears, Mario, on this one. Okay. Meaning, yeah, they have a huge fan base. There's a huge history. Like anywhere you go, you can find somebody in a city that's wearing Bears stuff. You can find someone that's wearing Jets stuff, or someone who will claim to be a Jets fan. It's one of those where they have the big fan bases, big cities, the whole deal. You can't say the same thing about the Chargers. Even though they're in Los Angeles, the Chargers right now are still the second team in LA because they don't have a Super Bowl. But for Jets fans, it's been a long time, like older than I am for the Jets to win. Like the Jets have never won in my lifetime. They won years before I was even born. And so for the Chicago Bears, yeah, the 85 Bears, people talk about it like 85 was last year, but they still talk about the 85 Bears like crazy. But the Bears have always been known as an ugly win team, and the city's fine with it because they have that attitude of toughness. And the Jets don't win, and they don't even have that 1 year. I'm not talking the Joe Namath years is ridiculous. I mean, they're dinosaurs a couple years before that. But when you look at what the Jets are, what the Bears are, when they do win, they win ugly. Their fan base is fine with it as long as you're physical, as long as you're given 100%. And these are, as I say, these are kids on the field. These are young men on the field. These are guys basically outside of, most veteran quarterbacks. These are guys in their early 20s that are playing, that have the ego. They know they're going to the number 1 media market. They know they're on national TV. They know that the entire NFL is watching this game Monday night. And man, there's not going to be a slip game from the Chargers. If the Chargers lose or don't play well, that's because the Chargers didn't play well. It had nothing to do with, man, we're far into the season and I'm exhausted. This is even for a guy like Keenan Allen, this is a chance for these guys to think in their mind, this is where I get on the map. This is where people remember this game. This is one of these things, prime time against the number 1 media market. You're going to see the best that the Chargers have to offer against the Jets. And at the same time, the Jets are sitting there trying to fight for their lives, and they're going to have their best effort going because it's a momentum. We could do it without Aaron Rodgers. As long as we can hold strong, we're going to be fine. Yeah, I think you're going to see a really good game, competitive effort, both sides. And the one guy on the Jets, I'll say to watch, because we always try and point out one guy that you think is dangerous. Everyone knows Sauce Gardner, and you're going to see him plenty. number one for the Jets, of course. Watch 95 for the Jets. For me, Quinnen Williams is the player you need to watch. He's the guy that disrupts things. He's the guy that is their Aaron Donald, and he's the guy that if you watched Hard Knocks, you're very familiar with him. Josh was teammates with him at Alabama, but he's a disruptive force, and he's the one guy that can wreck the Chargers' offensive line. And as far as the Chargers go against this team, I love the battle for battle. I think it's a great opportunity for the Chargers to get on the map with some of their young players, but at the same time, get that confident win because they need it. The Chargers need one of these wins again to start heading in the right direction, even your record at 500 and keep moving forward with the momentum you have. Because as we said, the Lions are coming to town and they're the real deal.
There's a lot of things you hit on there that were really good. I don't even know where to start. We'll start with Quinnen Williams, actually. So Quinnen Williams, to me, is one of the more underrated players in the league because he plays for the Jets. And you'd say he plays in New York. What do you mean? That Jets team is so boring week in and week out. How many people are really tuning in to watch Quinnen Williams play? Not many, because when he's not on the field, you got to watch Zach Wilson. You're like, channel change. I'm not watching this crap. Quinnen Williams, to me, is so freaking good. He's going to go against Will Clapp. He's going to be in, go against the guards and the centers, and that's not favorable for us. One of the biggest disappointments of this season is Zion Johnson. And I was high on Zion Johnson after they drafted him and he played a few games, and we all said, wow, we got ourselves a stud. He has not been great since. And I don't know what's going on with Zion Johnson. He started off hot and he hasn't been that. Will Clapp, to me, if he can block Quinnen Williams half the time, seriously, half the time, he did a great job because he's a backup. And I don't know when Corey Linsley's coming back. Brandon Staley made a few comments earlier this week saying he's helping the team in another capacity. It does not sound like Corey Linsley's going to play again this season. Cross your fingers. But that, to me, is a huge matchup. Quinnen Williams going against Will Clapp and the guards. Shamari Sawyer's played okay, played better than we've expected. But that's the big matchup. Keenan Allen, okay? I'm so happy you brought up Keenan Allen. What does Keenan Allen have to do to be proven? Seriously, this guy every year plays great. But yet he's the Drew Holiday of the NFL where he's underrated every single year. I'm sick of it. I'm a huge Keenan Allen fan. Anybody that's a Charger fan is a huge Keenan Allen fan. This guy has proven it. He shouldn't have to do this on prime time against the Jets to prove to everybody that he's great. He is great. I'm tired of this Keenan Allen thing. I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think it's ridiculous that Keenan Allen in year, 11, that he has to prove that he can play. I mean, the guy's great. And I think hopefully he gets into the Hall of Fame if he keeps playing for a few more years. There's a lot of great matchups on this field. The Jets' passing defense is unreal. I think they're only allowing 184 yards a game. That's incredible. In today's NFL, to allow 184 passing yards a game, only allowing 18.4 points a game. This is the Chargers that need to step up in a big way. And I think if you play on primetime the week before against the Bears, just take the same energy again. We're going to do primetime again. We're going to kick some ass again. The Chargers looked great last week. I'd like for another ass kicking this week because the Chargers haven't done that much. And if you do it last week, let's just do it again. I know it's easier said than done. And the last thing I'm going to say is the Chargers never get those mistakes from other teams. You said, let's get a mistake game from somebody else. It's like the scene from Superbad. I want to be somebody's mistake tonight. The Chargers are rarely ever anybody's mistake. People don't have their off games that often against the Chargers because our defense is the bend and break defense. But I want the Chargers to get some mistakes too.
You mentioned the Keenan Allen thing. Keenan Allen's top 10 in receiving yards this year. He's number 8 right now. And in that category too, he has the only guys above him that have played the same number of games as Chase and St. Brown. And let's just say those guys get a lot more targets than Keenan Allen does. The rest of those guys above him all haven't had their bye week and have had one more game than him. That just proves just how good of a receiver, how talented he is at Keenan Allen. I think that Drew Holiday comparison is just so accurate because I think every corner, every receiver, when you see him do the offseason interviews, right, like the training camp interviews, and they go, all right, who's like the slept-on receiver? Who's like the receiver that's very, very good that no one talks about? And a lot of guys go, well, Keenan Allen's route running. Keenan Allen like this. Keenan Allen, like he's a guy that gets thrown in, and they're like, it's not appreciated enough how talented and how special of a player he is. That matchup versus Sauce is going to be an amazing matchup. That's going to be a battle all day long. I like what you said there, Dave. Williams up front is going to be definitely an issue for the Chargers. I mean, the trade camp thing, obviously, people come up when he had like 6 sacks or whatever in their joint practice. But also, just if you look at their last game against the Jets, he was a factor. You look at the Bills game, he was a factor. Like, you look at all these matchups they had, he's been a huge factor in those games. And he's going to definitely cause some problems for the Chargers, probably make Herbert be quicker on his passes, hopefully throw it over the lineman and not at their helmet. But he's definitely going to change the way Herbert is going to throw the ball in this matchup. The thing that I keep looking at, and like, yes, this Jets secondary, like you mentioned, those numbers, Josh, are unbelievable. You could say the numbers are skewed a little bit because they had the Giants last week, and that helps a lot. Okay, I'll give you that. But I think the thing that we can really have versus them is, and we hinted at it, they're second to worst defense against the run. Like, Austin Ekeler, maybe your game. I know Joshua Kelly is more a guy on the ground for us at this point, but like, I think Ekeler can be huge in this game in terms of the run game, just because that's the defense's weakness. And two, I think this is going to be another big drop off game, like big dump off the Ekeler game. Like, Keaton's winning a battle every now and then versus Sauce. Palmer's on 100%. Quinn's just on screen passes. I think it's going to be a huge dump down game of the pressures getting to him. Where's Ekeler? Find Ekeler. Okay. If you're in fantasy, I think you'd start Ekeler and get 30 freaking points this week. I think Eckler's going to get a lot of touches on the ground. I think Eckler's going to get a lot of touches in the passing game. I think it's going to be a big game for Ekeler, and we're going to need him to come through in order to win this matchup in week 9. I always want to say week 8, Dave. I don't know why. Maybe I'm
So it's funny is Austin Ekeler, we all know about his complaints, and since the season ended last year, that Austin Ekeler has other things on his mind, whether it's the respect, whether it's money, whether it's his future. This is the game right here for Austin Ekeler to show what he is, and here he is on national TV again. As we said, everyone's watching because it's over. So if we've gone over this, but if you haven't heard us say it before, Tuesday's the off day in the NFL, so it's the last game of the week. People know they have tomorrow off. They stay up. They watch this game. This is what players do. Players watch. General managers watch. Everyone's focusing on Monday Night Football. Austin Ekeler, this is his opportunity. You want to talk about how valuable you are, how good you are for the world to see you. You're playing in the number 1 media market. You're the number 2 media market. This is his game, right? Everything sets up for this to be the Austin Ekeler game, for him to showcase what he is. He knows it. He's not dumb. He knows that this is an opportunity. And at the same time, the Chargers look like, as Austin Ekeler came out 2 weeks ago, and when they asked about his coach, I don't have a choice. That wasn't basically, hey, this is my guy. I'm going to run through the wall for that guy. See that wall right there? He can run through it by himself. I'm just going to go grab my car keys. All of a sudden, Brandon Staley's like, dude, I better keep this guy happy. And it looked a little bit different against the Bears. Like, there was an effort to get Austin Ekeler what he wanted. This is the Austin Ekeler game. I'm telling you. I think we don't do our picks to click anymore. For some reason, we always forget to name our players that we think are going to thrive. But he's the guy. If we had a pick, I think all of us would say this is his game. By the way, if it matters to anybody, Chargers are wearing powder blues in this game. Okay.
Oh,
going on the road, they're wearing powder blues. I don't know if they're wearing yellow pants or white pants, but they're wearing their powder blue jerseys in this game. It's going to look great. Everything's going to be pretty cool. As there are people in their 80s who are going to watch this game and going, this is what it used to look like in the old AFL days, Chargers and the Jets. But it's I'm excited, man, and I'm excited because I think the Chargers can win. I expect them to win. If this is one where I'm going, man, we're about to go 3,000 miles and get our asses kicked, I'd be really disappointed. But I'm excited about this game. I wish it started in 5 minutes.
I'm so excited about this game. Let's talk about the pick to click. I'm so happy you brought that up too, because we forget all the time. We got so much going on. We forget. Austin Ekeler 100% was going to be my pick to click because of what Mario said earlier. The dump downs. I mean, and it's so funny we're talking about dump downs in a positive way because we're so mad last year. But that is the thing that Austin Ekeler can do that you cannot stop. If you're going to bring the pressure, especially with Quinn Williams up the middle, and you could dump it off to Austin Ekeler, that is going to be something that's going to be hell for the other team. He would definitely be my pick to click. And then on defense, my pick to click, I'm going to go again with Thule and Mack. I think the number should be 4 every game between Thule, Mack, and Bosa. I'll go 4 combined sacks. I think if you can get 4 sacks, it's asking for a lot, but it's not anything that's unreasonable. You're going to win the game, or you're going to put yourself in a great position to win the game. So I'm going to go Thule. Actually, is going to be my guy on defense for double-digit sacks, or excuse me, multiple sacks. I think he's going to get 2, and I like him on defense. The Chargers, to me, this is a statement game, and I know we say that all the time too. Statement games. It's funny because every game could be a statement game, but this really is a statement game. I think the Chargers can really take advantage here with a double tight end set. I expect Gerald Everett to play this game. He was a game time decision against the Bears. I think he's going to suit up. They cut Trey McKitty.
Dude, I blame you. I blame you.
Yeah. It's a Josh Palais. Listen.
Yeah.
Dude, third round draft pick in I think it was 2021, never materialized. One of the worst picks from Tom Telesco. All he has to his name is a bunch of holds. I mean, he never did anything. So I believe the Chargers have 4 tight ends now still because they picked up Nick Fournette. So yeah, they have 4 tight ends. So I think the Chargers should go double tight end set a few times. I would love that. Chargers don't do that very often. Parham to me, 6'8", throw that thing up, especially with Mike Williams out. You got another big target out there. And then Gerald Everett, a guy that's played over his head as well. Came into the Chargers as a backup behind Tyler Higbee. I think every NFL fan would say, I'd rather have Gerald Everett right now than Tyler Higbee. He's played really well. I like Gerald Everett to get involved in this game plan because he's a guy that you really don't know what he's capable of until he's on the field, and he will run through your face. He is the opposite of Keenan Allen. One of the things I don't like about Keenan Allen is you tap Keenan Allen and he falls over. He's the worst ever on yak. Yeah, but he's the worst yak receiver I think I've ever seen in my life. But Gerald Everett's not. And I think Gerald Everett is a guy that's going to be an asset for the Chargers. So I like the Chargers tight ends and Austin Ekeler on offense. And then Thule, Mack, and Bosa create some pressure on defense.
Mario, real quick, because I know it's your turn, but hold on. 2 things on that whole deal that he said about Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen, to me, Josh, has tried a little bit more this year to get a little more of the yards after catch. When he played with the Rivers, dude, it was like a fair catch. I mean, he just dropped right to the ground. It was crazy to watch. But then you're like, hell, he gets injured all the time, so go ahead and keep falling to the ground. But it was always hilarious. It'd go, man, are you even going to try to get at least 3 more yards? It was literally, I'm just going to drop. Just don't touch me. Whereas Gerald Everett, as Josh said, I don't think people in the NFL would think Gerald Everett's one of the tougher guys in the NFL, but he's one of those guys I think of like the Chicago Bears, as I was just saying, the old Mike Ditka deal. When you look at his highlights, like, dude, you can tackle me, but I'm not going down. They're going to blow the whistle. Like, I'm just, you're going to stop my momentum, but you aren't knocking me to the ground. Like, Gerald Everett takes pride on not being knocked to the ground. I kind of love it.
Me too.
He's like the type of guy that the audience has a chant for after he catches and like makes a hard run. You know what I'm saying? Like the Steelers did that with guys, Packers did that with guys. Like that's something like you could see Everett where like, I don't know, his name's not gonna, there's nothing in his name where you like chant like Everett. Like that's not
really it's true. Gerald doesn't sound cool.
Yeah, Gerald. That doesn't play it that well either. But McKinney, hey, no one to hold him, no one to fold him, no one to poke him, baby. And we folded him. You know, we see a hell of a lot. So,
what is the deal? Poke him? Why do you keep saying poke him?
I don't know where poke him came from. I think that was something from middle school that we would do when like we were on our DC trip, and every time the teacher would walk down and count, you would mess with him and just poke him, so you had to restart counting.
Oh, when you say poke him, I thought you meant like F him. And I'm like, what? Why do you keep saying?
Oh, like on the poker table? I mean.
No,
I've poked people at the poker table.
Poke them, like throw them one. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
that's what I thought you were saying the whole time. Do you know the song? Do you know the Kenny Rogers song?
No, I do. I do know the song. I do know the song. Right. I just didn't know the last line of that.
Okay.
I just know no one to fold them, no one to hold. I didn't know the last.
No line. One to run is the last part. It's all right. Yeah. I mean, like leave the table. All right. Forget.
All right. Anyways, yeah.
Well, picture click. Poke them. I'm like, what are you guys doing, Indiana? What kind of talk is this?
You know, in Indiana, we don't run. That's what we do. Yeah, we don't run. All right.
Let's get to the games, guys. Unless you got something you want to add.
Picks to click. I mentioned Ekeler. I love Ekeler a lot. For the defensive side, I mentioned the pass rushing. I'm actually going to go Asante Samuel in this one. Samuel. Yeah. I want him to have a kind of a big game. He's probably going to line up a good amount against Garrett Wilson. Again, another young, very, very talented receiver. Just look, Wilson's going to have at most 2 seconds to throw. Just stay in front of him for 2 seconds. You know, like just clog it up a little bit. He's not going to have a lot of time to throw. I think that's going to be really, really huge in this game. Make Wilson make him feel like a backup quarterback. Do not give him confidence enough to make him feel like a starter, make him feel like a backup quarterback. Like I said, 2 games this year, over 200 passing yards. That was against the Chiefs. That was against the freaking Giants. So, you know, Chiefs defense, he said, has been better this year, but Giants defense, okay, whatever. Throw that out the window. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I'm gonna go just real quick. I'm going Ekeler on offense because I think obviously, as Josh said, with the tight ends and with Ekeler and the dump downs, you just got to get outside the tackles. That's gonna have to
Yeah.
be the key, right? You're gonna have to get outside the tackles, and you aren't gonna be able to do it with a straight run. You have to figure it out. And at the same time, defense. Khalil Mack. I know we went Khalil Mack last week, but Khalil Mack's my guy this week.
All right, before we pick games, can we? All right,
I
Mario,
think
what were
Mario's
you
gonna
gonna
add something.
Oh, I was gonna add. Could we see a good amount of screen passes for our boy Quentin today? On Monday. Think about
I
it.
like that.
Good pass rush. Yeah, I think that could be huge.
Good yards after catch guy. Yeah, they
Yeah.
should do the crossing. At least, yeah, give him the screens, give him the crossing routes, give him the intermediate stuff. Don't throw it 40 yards down the field yet. He's not ready for that. Give him the easy catches. Let him run with the ball. I think that's a great call, Mario. Sorry, one thing I didn't mention. If you guys noticed, the big takeaway from people that aren't Charger fans that watch the Bears game was, holy hell, the Chargers have a 6'8" tight end. When did this happen? And you're like, yeah, we do have a 6'8" tight end, and nobody knew who he was. I don't know if you guys noticed, people were like freaking out about that on social media, saying, where did this guy come from? But
yeah, because nobody watches Charger games.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah, nobody's watching Charger games.
Yeah.
That's it. The Chargers need to get to the point where it sounds crazy to say in the number 2 media market where they're relevant. You just want to have that team that's a relevant team. Then it's relevant because they're playing exciting, great football. And that means on both sides of the ball, and it's weird that the Chargers have been around since 1960, yet they're still looking for that national identity.
Yeah, it's insane. And also, Donald Parham doesn't sound cool in a chant either, Mario. Why do our tight ends have so many syllables? It's not awesome. All right.
We love DP. Yeah, that's the chant. Yeah.
No. All right, hold on. YouTube comment of the show. Okay, this is from last night. Bolt Up and Roll Tide, Bolt City Pod. We like that. Coming at you from Huntsville, Alabama. Who do you think the Chargers? Yeah, Huntsville, Alabama. Who do you think the Chargers are going to keep next year? Allen, Williams, Mack, and Bosa, or do they keep any of them? Mario, do you want to take this first?
Yeah, I'll take this first. I think they'll try.
Hold on. The comment came from Dave. Sorry, David Norris, 3580. I appreciate your question. Sorry.
Yeah,
what were you gonna say,
appreciate it. Shout out to you. If we see you in public, I'll give you a nice hug. If I'm ever in Huntsville, Alabama, so watch out. All right. I think they try Allen, Williams, Mack. I think they head into it going, we want to keep all, because I still think they're going to do their best to keep this title window together. I think of any of them, because of the injury, I think Williams would be gone. If I had to bet money right now, say one of these guys would be gone, I think it'd be Williams and Mack, simply because of Mack's age. I just don't think you're going to get a lot of good years left out of him. I think a team that's a little closer to winning now would maybe offer up him or take him or take some of the money off of him. And I think Williams, just for the fact of 2 years in a row of an injury. This injury came very early in the season, took him out for the whole year. Will he be back? Will he be as strong when he comes back? I don't know. Can he? Yes, absolutely. But I think you just look at the injury history and go, you know what? Maybe it's time to cut ties. Maybe it's time to move on. Maybe it's time to get some younger talent in here. Maybe like someone in the draft. Maybe there's some other receivers in free agency. So Dave, my thing is I think Williams and Mack would be the most likely to go.
I think I'll be honest with you. I think all right, it depends who the GM is. If it's Telesco, he's going to keep Williams. He's not going to dump out on Williams. If Telesco for some reason's gone, I think Williams is gone, just because of the injury problems. I think Keenan Allen you keep. I think I could see a lot of guys gone. Guys, I think they end up keeping one of those guys. I mean, they have some major salary problems. If this team is not a playoff team, I think you're going to see some big time changes to the guys that make a lot of money. I could see Bosa gone. I could see Matt gone. I could see Williams gone, and Allen's the one remaining.
Interesting. So those four guys are the only ones who have a cap hit above $30 million. No, there's nobody on the team even that has a cap hit above $20 million. Derwin James is right below that. I like everything Dave just said. Crazy when you think about it. Keenan Allen is a Charger for life. There's no way I can picture him in my head with another team. I think he stays. Mack, I think, is absolutely gone. He has the biggest cap hit next year of $38.5 million. Joey Bosa, I think he stays as well. I think they're going to want to pair him with Thule on the other side. And then Mike Williams, to me, is I'm undecided on. I don't know. I think Dave's spot on there. If Telesco stays, he stays. If Telesco goes, he goes. So I think Keenan Allen to me is the only definitive guy on the team that stays. Joey Bosa, I think 80% chance he stays, and then Mike Williams, I think, is up in the air. So there you go.
You know, by the way, Huntsville, Alabama, Mario. I used to go there every year when I lived in Nashville as a kid growing up. They have the Space Center. Did you know there's a Space Center in Huntsville, Alabama?
No, but thanks for a fun fact, Boomer.
Nobody knows. That's a big damn deal for Alabama. They got the Mercedes plant and they got the Space Center. And of course,
Nice.
Alabama football. Roll Tide.
Alabama football. And Nick Saban.
Philip Rivers lives there.
Yeah, Philip Rivers.
He does.
Jameis
Yeah,
Winston.
he lives in Huntsville.
Does he really?
Jameis Winston doesn't live there.
No, Jameis Winston was raised there. Remember that? Dude, no joke. We drove by Jameis Winston's house. Dude, there's not even like indoor plumbing, dude. It's a complete dump. Remember that? We drove right on the way to Tuscaloosa. You drove by literally on the drive from Nashville to and no one gives a crap. From Nashville to Tuscaloosa.
You're tripping.
I'm telling you, we drove by Winston's house area and then Philip Rivers area.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think he's from Huntsville.
No,
Philip Rivers is from Huntsville.
But he's from Alabama.
Okay. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. There's a lot, dude. Alabama's underrated. How many great athletes are from there? I think
Hank Aaron, Willie Mays.
Yeah,
Willie Mays.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Incredible. Good stuff.
Yeah. On the bottom 25 of the states, but still.
I think Gucci Mane.
Hey, Gulf Shores, Alabama. Nice place to visit.
Yes, it is.
That's where I used to go on spring break when I was a little kid. That's where I played
Is that
poker
right?
for the first time. Yeah.
Did he? That's when he learned when to hold him.
Dude, I was
poking
them. I was like 7 playing at a random poker table and I won like $100 and my parents lost me. And then my mom was like freaking out. And she walked and she found me and I was playing poker and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I looked up at her and I said, "I'm winning money." And then she was like,
that was
like
the version
of college kids.
That was a version of Home Alone that was never made.
Yeah. Yeah. We pitched it to them and they turned it down. They said it wasn't gonna work. But yeah, shout out to those kids. They sucked at poker or they were really drunk. I bet they were really banged up. I did win a good amount of money from them. So shout out to them.
Oh my god. All right, let's not get these games fast if we can.
All right. Titans, Steelers, Thursday Night Football. Steelers 2.5-point favorite in this one. Will Levis in this matchup. He's the starter. Here we go. What do we think?
Steelers. I think the Titans are not that good. I don't think Will Levis does it 2 games in a row, especially against the Steelers defense that applies pressure. The game's in Pittsburgh as well.
Yeah, I'm going Steelers as well. I'm excited to watch this game. Thursday night game, I'm excited to watch. Kenny Pickett's going to play. I'm excited to watch Will Levis to see exactly, is he the real deal, not the real deal. What a great first game, though. 4 touchdown passes. DeAndre Hopkins was reborn. You know, what's kind of funny is Hopkins plays great when he played in a Houston uniform. He wore a Houston uniform the other day, and he was great again.
Yeah. Damn shame that the Texans don't wear those and Titans do. Damn shame. But I like Steelers in this one too. Rookie QB going in Pittsburgh on a primetime game. Mike Tomlin, I think he's going to eat his lunch. That under 37, I still kind of like because Matt Canada is a dummy.
Hey, how did we do last week? You never even said. Did we do good?
We did. Josh did really, really well. Actually, we all did not bad.
That's what I thought. That's why I didn't want to pass over that. You didn't hesitate when we asked the bed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you got to make sure to know when to hold them and to poke them. You know,
Dude, I'm going to say that for the rest of my life. You've completely changed me on this.
No, but it's pretty good. Saints helped a lot. Texans kind of screwed.
I think I had the Titans. The Titans, right? I think I did all right.
We all
Titans. Yeah.
We all had Titans.
Okay, I think I did good. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. We beat Vegas. All right, Dolphins, Chiefs. Chiefs 1.5-point favorites in this one. This game is in Germany. What do you guys kind of think here? Over under 50.5 too. It's really high over.
Now I'm back and forth on this. I'm gonna go Dolphins. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes is how he's feeling. I think Tyreek Hill, wants to prove a lot to the Chiefs. I don't know, man. The Chiefs are also missing their best. Yeah, hate game. Chiefs are missing their best defensive player, Nick Bolton. Drew Tranquil's banged up. I like the Dolphins.
Boy, I'm really excited about this game also. I wouldn't bet this game at all. I'm going to go with the Dolphins for the reason Mario brought up on the last show is that the Dolphins left on Monday to prepare for the time change. I think it's a real deal. We've seen it all year long. I think it's a real deal. I'm going Dolphins. I'm rooting for the Dolphins.
When Dolphins play Super Bowl caliber teams, they lose 48-20. They lose
That's true.
31-17. I'm taking the Chiefs in this one.
Okay, probably pretty smart. That's true.
Vikings, Falcons. Falcons, 4.5-point favorite. Heineke is the starter in this game versus the Falcons. I mean versus the Vikings. I think Vikings will start Dobbs. It's a pretty quick turnaround.
No, they aren't starting. They aren't starting.
They are.
Dobbs.
Okay.
They're going Jaron Hall, great BYU quarterback. Just kidding. Falcons, I like to win this game. Taylor Heineke, to me, is one of the better backs in the league. He does enough to win games. Jaron Hall, nobody knows what he is. And Justin Jefferson, I believe, is not playing in this game. So I like the Falcons.
I like the Falcons as well. I never picked the Falcons, but I like the Falcons in this game as well. Heineke's a spark plug. Like, he's not the guy you want as your week-by-week starter, but, man, when he jumps in the game, he's a spark plug.
Him and Mincha are on that same level with that. Where they're they're spark clubs and they're very likable guys. I like Falcons 4.5. That's pretty big, though. Like, I wouldn't bet that, but I don't think the Vikings can cover in that one.
The Vikings have nothing. They have nothing.
No, they have nothing. Absolutely zero. Cardinals, Browns. Browns 8.5-point favorites against the Cardinals. Deshaun Watson, I believe, is starting in this game. Another very, very low total, over under 37.5.
Right. I mean, honestly, who cares? No, not even to screw Deshaun Watson, but they play fine without him. You know?
Yeah.
Guess what? The guy playing behind Watson's doing better. So I'm going Browns. Again, the Cardinals are a complete train wreck. They've completely thrown it in. It didn't work. They were doing the best they can to be competitive, but they've thrown the towel in. The Cardinal season's over. They know it.
Yeah, they're actually the worst team in the NFL. Clayton Tune is the quarterback. I like the Browns in this. The Browns already have a really tough defense. Deshaun Watson, to me, is the opposite of Lamar Jackson. Gets his money and disappears. So I like the Browns to win just because their defense is great.
I like the Browns. Yeah, I like the Browns also in this game. I was gonna take probably the Cardinals to cover if Murray was playing, but with the rookie, I'll take it. I have all favorites so far, so this is good. This always works out well. Rams, Packers, 3-point favorites in this one. Rams on a backup QB as well in this. Jordan Love's playing like a backup QB. So what do we think?
Well, they're saying Stafford's day-to-day now. That's the latest report, that all of a sudden his thumb went from he could be out 6 weeks to now he's day-to-day. The Rams back seven are so bad. I mean, they're like so slow. Like, these guys don't belong in the NFL slow. It's really weird to see that they're 2 steps behind the players that they're trying to stay up with. I don't even know what to say about the Rams. It was embarrassing last week. I say the Rams actually have a better effort this week. I'm gonna go with the Rams.
This is bad on bad, man. These are 2 really bad teams. I think the Rams actually have better talent, so that's why I'm going to say the Rams cover in this game. Jordan Love, not good. If Matt Stafford plays, Rams for sure. If he doesn't, then who cares? I'll go Rams.
I like Rams here a lot. I don't want to trust Jordan Love and LaFleur at all. I don't want to trust them. Aaron Donald can still get home on them very, very easily. Give me the Rams in that one. And plus, they Rams have pretty good receivers still that their QB can.
Good receivers.
Yeah. Commanders, Patriots. Patriots are 3.5-point favorites against the Commanders who just sold. I think this is we sold at the deadline move. No, like, I feel like if they had their full team, this is like 1.5.
I don't understand the line, Mario. I think 3.5 for a team that can't score doesn't make any sense. Sam Howell, if he has any time to throw, listen to this. If Sam Howell has any time to throw the ball, he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL. That's how good he looks when he has time to throw, and that sounds crazy. The guy can play. I like the Commanders to cover, and you see a lot of times teams sell off players, and they have like one game of we can still play, and then they go back to crap. I think Commanders actually cover in this and win the game.
I'm going with Josh. This is the game. I think Commanders rally. It works one time, and then it goes right in the crapper. It works one time. Just curious. Ron Rivera is going to be out of a job at the end of this year. I mean, it's like one of those. Sorry, Ron, but you will not be here. Would he see a guy you'd want to see the Chargers sign?
No, he's proven this year with the Commanders he's not interested in coaching. He just stands there. He's a disinterested coach. I would not hire Ron Rivera.
He was
only
the
coach I can ever remember that can kick ass. The only coach I can ever remember on the Chargers staff that could kick ass.
He'd be a good consultant.
You know, it's funny. I could see being named the head coach of your Chicago Bears.
I could see it because of the ties.
I'm
I
sorry
could
to
see it.
call them your
No, but
Chicago Bears just because
no,
you're in
but,
Chicago.
like,
I had to say it. Yeah.
with
He's
all
a
the
great
ties, yeah.
85 Bear. 85 Bear.
He was a 5 Bear. And he's a disciple of Ryan. He was on Ryan's coaching staff too after that.
He also was on the Chargers coaching staff when they were in
Yeah.
San Diego. Yeah, he's a good dude,
I mean,
man. I got to know him really well.
people want hardball bad. That's it.
Yeah.
That's a discussion for another day. I like Commanders to cover in this. I think 3.5 is too much. Even though the Commanders sold their up front, I still think 3.5 to Mac Jones is a little too much. We mentioned Chicago. Chicago's next. Saints 8.5 point favorites at home against Chicago.
I actually get the Bears to cover. I think the Saints win this game. Bears cover 8.5 for a Saints team that is not good is insane. I don't think the Bears are actually that bad. So I think the Bears cover in this game.
I go exactly what Josh said. Saints win, Bears cover.
I agree. Saints win, Bears cover. They'll find a weird touchdown in the fourth quarter that makes them cover, I think, in this game. And Derek Carr, I mean, okay, whatever. Seahawks, Ravens. Ravens 5.5 point favorite against the Seahawks. Holy hell.
This game has to be in Baltimore, obviously.
It is in Baltimore, yeah.
So there's 4 great games this weekend. This is one of them. I like the Seahawks to cover. I'm not sure they win this game, but the Seahawks are a team that lead the division. Being 6-point underdogs as a team leads the division is wild this far into the season. I think the Seahawks cover just because they play people pretty tough usually.
Yeah, if we were hosting the It's Always Sunny in Seattle podcast, we'd be saying this is a Super Bowl matchup, right? That's what we'd be saying all week long. This is a possible Super Bowl matchup, which would be awful. But I'm going Ravens all the way in this one. I'm going Ravens cover and win.
Wow, really?
Yep.
I'm trying to look at injury report, see if I'm missing something. I like Seattle. I think I'm with you, Josh. I think Seattle can cover. Kiss my ass.
Dude, it's just so many things that every week. You just did something a second ago that was so outside of you that you picked a team.
Oh, when against the Packers?
Yeah, you went against the Packers.
Yeah.
That was crazy. That was something you've never done. You always go against the Ravens. It's funny as hell.
But I mean, 5.5 is a lot for the Seahawks that fight.
Yeah, it could be the Ravens against St. John Bosco in high school, and you'd still pick St. John Bosco. Like, you hate the Ravens.
To cover 50.5. Yeah. Bucks Texans in this one. This is a good are they good game. Texans 2.5 point favorite over the Bucks. Both teams are scrappy enough where they could maybe sneak in the playoffs. Maybe. It's a big maybe. But what do we kind of think here, guys?
It's my overtime pick of the week. This game right here. I have no idea who to pick, guys. I'm just gonna pick the Texans because I don't know. I'm just gonna pick the Texans. I have no good reason to pick the Texans or the Bucks, but I'm gonna pick Texans.
Yeah, this should have been a Thursday night throwaway game.
100%.
I'm gonna just because I have no idea what to do on this game either. I'm just gonna go opposite of Josh just to shake it up. I'm gonna go Bucks.
I'm going Bucks here just for defense purposes against a rookie QB. Maybe Todd Bowles can skew something up. Todd Bowles, hell of a coordinator, really bad head coach. That's just so clear as day. Panthers getting their first win last week against the Texans are 2.5 point dogs against the Colts at home.
Colts.
I like to
I'll go Colts.
I like to believe Vegas looked at this game and was undecided on what to pick with the line here because I don't think anybody really knows what's going to happen in this game at all. I like the Panthers to win the game. Surprisingly, this is going to be one of the shocker games. I think Gardner Minshew to me is going to have some bad games. Right, he's a backup quarterback. A reason I want to believe he's going to crap the bed at least once or twice. I like the Panthers to win.
I kind of like the over in this game. By the way, over under 44. Colts kind of let teams kind of run up the score on them, and Minshew does his good enough job to at least put up 20. Shane Steichen, hell of a play caller. I like the Colts in this though, 2.5. I could see the Panthers definitely upsetting and winning. Like this does seem like a really weird game where like the Panthers win and they get 2 in a row, which would suck for Chicago because I mean Caleb Williams is going bye and you have to settle for Drake May probably. But we will see. Giants Raiders Dan Waller revenge game ? Raiders 1.5 point favorites under a new regime, and they face New York Giants.
It looks like Waller's going to be out for a while. It's funny you're trying to prove that you they made a mistake. You're not going to play in the game.
Hold on one second, Josh. Just want to correct you on this. Mari, can you look this up on Waller? Because I thought Waller was out for a while too. Then I was hearing Waller's playing. I thought Waller was out.
I'm looking at the injury report right now. Waller said Wednesday that his current hamstring injury may sideline him for weeks as opposed to days.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there was a story about, hey, it's a revenge game. All this narrative about his wife and him super angry with the Raiders and watch what the mistake you made. Okay. Who's going to get you the ball?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Josh. Make your pick. Sorry.
I'm going to pick the Raiders to win this game for the same reason as the Commanders. You're going to have one game of pissed offness with Antonio Pierce. Antonio Pierce, by the way, that is how you handle a press conference. That was exactly how you do it. You go, I am a Raider through and through. Dude, even if it's the freaking Panthers, I'm a Panther through and through. You got to say some crap like that.
Yeah.
I loved it. I think the Raiders definitely win this game against the Giants. And they actually think they kicked their ass, too.
Yeah, Mario, bet this game. I agree with Josh 100%. This is your lock of the week right here. This is all like, thank God the Wicked Witch is dead. This is watch what we can do. He was the problem the whole time. You're going to see something different. This is going to be, again, for Josh, I agree with the Commanders analogy. This is where the Raiders come out and try and prove that it was this idiot the entire time that was holding us back.
I completely agree. And a great quote from Antonio Pierce. I'm a former player. I touch former players. Don't feel me. I need to feel them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A lot of that's a little shaky, but yes. Yes.
Yeah. Good quote. Yeah.
In the wrong context, it comes off really bad, but
comes
okay.
Off really weird. Yeah. Shout out to the person that made that graphic and didn't think twice.
Yes.
Cowboys, Eagles, another big this card this weekend's beautiful.
This game should be the Sunday night game. I don't even know what the Sunday night game is. How this should be the Sunday night game.
Because
Bills,
the Sunday night
Bengals.
game is better than it's Bills.
What
Bengals.
is the Bills Bengals? It's the DeMar Hamlin game. That's why.
Yeah.
This Cowboys Eagles game is the game, though. I'm telling you. If I had to pick one or the other, I'm watching this game. This is the game. Josh, who you picking?
I'm going Eagles. Excuse me. I'm going Eagles. If you were going to tell me that a really good Cowboys team and a great Eagles team isn't the Sunday night game of the week, I'd say you're crazy. But the NFL is pushing the DeMar Hamlin narrative so hard. It's actually the most annoying thing in the world. I'm sorry. DeMar Hamlin's even like, for God's sakes, can we just play football? I like the Eagles to cover and win this game.
Me too. Going Eagles.
Tim. God, where's some bad go? That's going to go bad. Bet Cowboys, guys. All right. Bills, Bengals. Bengals 2-point favorite. I think this was 2.5 when we started the show, so that's gone down to 2. Bengals, the red hot team. Bills injury prone at the moment. What do we have here?
Is this game in Buffalo? Has to be, right?
In Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
Oh, Jesus. PTSD. That's horrible. All right. I thought for sure this one would be in Buffalo. I'm going Bengals, man. I'm going Joe Burrow right here. Joe Burrow's back.
Dude, I think Joe Burrow hangs up 40+ in this game. I like everything Dave said. The Bengals are back. In a bad way for the Chargers, but I think the Bengals win this game, Dave.
Yep. Sam's going to be loud. That Sam's going to be excited. Here come the Bengals, baby. Here they come. They get hot later in the year, and I think it's what happens. 2-point favorite. I'll take the 2 and run with it to the bank. All right, Monday Night Football. It's our Los Angeles Chargers, Jets. Chargers are 3-point favorites. Over-unders 40. Chargers minus 175 on the money line.
You go, Mario.
I like Jet. Part of me wants to take Jets to cover, but I think Chargers win. Like, I think it's going to be – I don't think we blow them out. It's going to be a very, very close game. I think they muck it up. I think they muck it up in this game a lot. I think the Chargers win 110%, but I think the Jets cover. I think Ekeler has a huge, huge, huge game, like I said earlier. I think the Chargers get home on Zach Wilson a lot. I think Herbert throws 2 interceptions, which is going to hurt the Chargers and hurt them in key situations. But I think the Chargers win, but I think the Jets cover.
Literally just took the words out of my mouth. I think the Chargers win, Jets cover. I said earlier, Chargers kicked some ass, but every time I say that, Chargers end up losing by a couple points or winning by a couple points. So I think the Chargers are going to win this game, but I think the Jets cover.
I'm going all in on the Chargers, both sides. Going all in. Again, I think the Chargers have turned a corner. I think, honestly, making Austin Ekeler happy is important, and I think that's going to continue to go that way. It's going to be back-to-back weeks, and I think they're going to figure a way where Austin Ekeler explodes in this game, where he's going to show, look, I am worth the money on that next contract. This is the Austin Ekeler game. Chargers win, no problem.
There we go.
There we go. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, let's fight.
Yeah. I'm ready to run through a wall, right?
Yeah.
This is it. This is it right here. All right. So we're going to be back on Sunday, though, right? Even though the Chargers don't play on Sunday, we're going to wrap up Sunday. Is that correct? We're wrapping up Sunday, and then we're going to come back on Monday as well. So we'll do back-to-back shows again, Sunday and Monday. And it's going to be an exciting week of football. Really exciting. Again, I'm still excited what happened against the Bears. Let's keep it going. A lot to talk about. Again, thanks for watching on YouTube, leaving comments. And at the same time, if you're listening through the Odyssey app, again, Bolt City Podcast, we appreciate that as well. Please leave your comments. We love reading them on YouTube. For Mario Heron, Josh Palais, I'm Dave Palais. We'll see you in a couple days.